I'm really looking forward to this next story, a story that some of my aunts really love watching. This particular person, our next guest, you may remember, he's a wrestling superstar. He worked his way up from wrestling in local venues to becoming a 6-time world champion. Talking about Booker T. He won WWE's King of the Ring tournament, founded his own wrestling school, and was inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame, just to name a few things he's done. And now he's being celebrated in an A&E network documentary, Biography, WWE Legends, where many big names will be featured. Take a look.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Act one of being a pro wrestler is when you come through that curtain.
Can you dig it, sucker?
My aunt just loves you. Joining me right now, Booker T. Huffman, better known as Booker T. Booker T, thank you so much for joining us. What a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure's mine. Thanks for having me.
Well, you're a part of a 6-city tour the network is promoting, along with the docuseries telling the stories of WWE Hall of Famers. How exciting was it to be a part of this project?
Really exciting. Coming from where I grew up in Houston, Texas, South Park, just being a street kid, but finding myself in professional wrestling. But when I got into professional wrestling, I wanted to be the best. I wanted my name to, ring with, the legends of wrestling one day, when it was all over. And this documentary, man, it kind of sums it up. Steve Austin, Roddy Piper, Macho Man Savage, Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, Bret Hart, Ultimate Warrior, and Booker T. You got to be kidding me. Booker T's name, is mentioned with all of those legends. So it just tells me that anything is possible if you really put your mind to it and you put your heart in it and you work for it and don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. I have a saying, when I'm 99%, I keep my mouth shut. But when I'm 100%, I'm going to speak up 100% of the time. And no matter if it get me fired or not, but believe in your talent, young people, believe in your talent, and it'll take you places you never imagined.
That's a strong message to share with viewers, too. What would you tell critics who say you're probably even glamorizing the street life? Yeah.
That's why I want to show it the way it really is, and it's not glamorizing it, one bit. But it's talking about all of those kids that's in Chicago that we speak about and not really understand, where they're at and where they're coming from. A lot of times, most of the time, these kids are born into that lifestyle, and it takes a certain, thing to, break that cycle. For me, no different. I was a kid, young as of 8, lost my mother when I was young. I lost my father when I was young. A lot of kids are in that same situation. And then they find themselves locked up in prison for the rest of their lives because of, just not having, structure, or not saying, man, I'm not going to blame what I went through on my situation. I'm going to take control of it and make my situation what I want it to be. And I think that's what, this thing is all about. Fork in the road. Am I going to go left, or am I going to go right? Am I going to make the right decision? Am I going to make the wrong decision? All of those things that I saw growing up made me say, hey, that's something that I don't want to do. And that's what I stress with young people today.
Love it. Love it. Is there anything that you possibly learned about yourself while filming this documentary? I know we're going to learn about a lot of things. What was it that you learned about yourself?
I don't think I learned a whole lot more about myself. Just being able to relive it was something that I think I needed to do. I think it was definitely almost like a rehab, so to say, something that I had to go through just to go back, walk down those roads again. Because in the documentary, it's going to be streets that I walked on that I hadn't walked since I was a little bitty kid, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. And the lights were so bright and I saw so many things that perhaps a young kid shouldn't have been seeing. But it made me say, wow, if I could do it, that's what this documentary at the end of the day, if I could do it, if Booker T can go through all of that, quitting school, losing his mom at a young age, losing his dad, at a young age, ended up in, quitting school, ended up in prison. If Booker T can do it and make it to this level, I could do it too.
Wow. Well, thank you for being an inspiration. Thank you for joining us this morning. Really looking forward to watching your journey to where you are right now. Thanks again, Booker T.
Awesome. You guys have a great morning.
You too. And we would like to thank Premier TV for providing assistance in today's interview. Biography Booker T premieres Sunday, May 9th on A&E.